to the pod, where we are two nuts on a couch. I'm Josh, and this is Noah. Let's get into it.
Very nice. I like the clean crack. I think it's something that's going to stick.
I think so too.
It just kind of sets the right tone for this.
I was going to say it fits our personality.
It does very much fit our personalities. I just think it's pretty funny that, like, our podcast episodes go out at, like, 7 a.m. And anybody who actually listens to this in the morning, like, just starts, like, hearing a crack of a beer.
Yeah, I was like, I'm a big podcast listener at work. I was like,
it really makes it hard to want to be at work, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're just like,
open right up with that. But I enjoy it, and I'm here for it.
Coors Light's one of their advertisers, and they just start talking about the mountains being blue, and it's like, do I want a beer? And then I'm like, nah, I'm at work. But
right now, every time I think about the Blue Mountains, I just think about Blue Mountain State. One,
Blue Mountain State. Great
two,
show.
I think about like going snowboarding and skiing because it's that time of the year.
Yeah, I'm more with you on Blue Mountain State, but
that was such a great show.
Nothing can ever be replicated about that. So many things not PC in that show anymore.
Is it even like on anywhere for you to stream anymore still?
Amazon Prime.
Let's go. Do you have to pay for it? Because there's some things that make you pay by the episode, which I hate. But
no, I recently was watching some episodes.
That's awesome.
And yeah,
that's definitely getting added back to the bottom of the list if I want to binge something because that was well worth it.
Yeah, but talk about a show that failed at a movie.
Oh, what, the Thadland one?
Yeah, that one.
Every time I see it on Netflix, I just scroll past it because I just know in my heart it's never going to be as good as the show.
I loved the show so much that when they first came out with the movie, it was like you could only buy it.
Did you buy it?
I bought it, yeah.
How much did you buy it for?
I think it was like $10.
That's not bad.
And it was like I was a freshman in college, and so it was like everyone else that I knew that liked the show, I was like, hey, I'm buying it. If you want to come over and watch,
nice.
Come to my room. And so it was at least fun. But I remember sitting in my bed watching it, being pissed off that it was so bad, and I spent money on it, and no one was giving me money, and would have been totally okay because I have the movie forever if it was good.
I don't remember the last movie that like I paid for and was mad that it was bad because every time I watch a movie that I don't like, I just stop watching it because I'm streaming it on something. So it's like I never finish a movie that's bad. Like it's not like the movie theater where it's like you've paid for this and you kind of force yourself to experience the whole thing.
Yeah, like I've seen it to the end.
Yeah, because you're financially invested.
Yeah, and I have like popcorn.
That's true. That's nice.
Nothing beats like movie theater popcorn as a snack.
No, not at all.
The one in town has that sells beer on Mystic.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
It's my favorite place. I love that I can get a beer to go with it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I just get a beer, popcorn, and cookie dough bites.
That is pretty sick. I've never done cookie dough bites as my go-to snack. Like at the movie theater, I was always real big into the peanut M&Ms. That was my like just 1000% go-to. And then I think like right now I've been getting really into the Sour Patch watermelons if they have them.
That was my OG.
But I used to not be able to do it for like because you can never have too many of those. Otherwise, like your mouth just like hurts. But you can definitely like overdose on M&Ms and it hurts a lot less.
I don't think there's really such thing as an overdose on M&Ms. Chocolate in general.
Well, that's like overdosing on M&Ms is overdosing on chocolate.
I mean, there's not much else to an M&M. So
peanut M&Ms are like the best, but
no,
yeah. What?
No,
yes,
no, not even close.
Yes.
Have you tried crispy M&Ms?
No.
Oh, what my god,
crispy M&Ms?
Yeah, they were more of a European.
That sounds
trend.
like an overcooked M&M. That sounds like they just like all the factory rejects.
No, it's like almost like it was like a little wafer ball that they like put the chocolate around and then the casing around it.
Interesting.
And they are A1.
I don't think I would enjoy it as much.
So you might think that, and then you eat one.
I don't know. See, this is where I'm. All right. So if we're talking M&Ms, right? My opinion is right. Peanut M&Ms are number one. Number two is the pretzel M&Ms because I think that they're just really
they're so fun.
Yeah, they're so delicious. Third is a little bit of an odd oddball, but I think that everybody agrees that it's top three is the M&M minis.
Oh, those are just fun.
The tiny ones, like
I was like,
oh,
I could eat the same content, like the same like volume of M&M,
delicious.
and as long as it's mini, I feel like I ate so much more.
It's so good. They're so awesome. I love the mini M&Ms to death.
My problem with the peanut M&M is sometimes the peanut is too hard. Like the rest of it's kind of falling apart.
That definitely can happen. Like, but I just kind of, I just think that like you gotta just take like a little bit of suck in the life. Like you kind of like you can't, everything just can't be perfect. So I think it's like you almost kind of just you acknowledge that that was like, oh, that was kind of not a great peanut, and then you just move and you just grab another one, and then you're back in business, and you just let the drowning in M&Ms, like eating more, just fade away the memory of that bad one.
Yeah, but I'd still rather have crispy M&Ms. They're just
how long has crispy M&Ms been a thing? That's got to be new.
The first time I had one was when I was in Ireland, and yeah, I think it was mostly just like a European thing that they brought to America, and when they brought them to America, I don't think they succeeded as well as they thought they would, but they were good. Anyone that I had tried
so
do
they sell them here still? Because I feel like I've never seen those anywhere.
Yeah, it's like a lighter blue bag, I think.
Okay.
I think, but like, it is less common to find, which I think also increases. Weirdly enough, I think that makes me like a candy more.
That it's uncommon. Yeah. I like some of the seasonal M&M ones are pretty good, like the mint ones.
Mm-hmm.
I think those every once in a while, like I don't know what season they're tied to. If I had to take a guess, it'd be St. Patrick's Day. I don't know why, just because they're green, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's what I would tie them to. When those come out, I like them a lot, but I never have too many. And I think that's like the only seasonal. Well, they seasonally color ones, but that's the only seasonal flavor one that I think exists.
Yeah, they have like their Christmas, or they just do red and green bags.
Yeah. I will say
it also doesn't make a difference to me. I was like, it's nice for decoration if you're gonna put them in a bowl and just leave them out.
Yeah,
but
that's
like,
fair. I feel like it's one of the few chocolates you can actually leave out in a candy bowl for a while.
Oh, have you ever had the rocks?
No.
Chocolate rocks. They're like.
Oh yeah,
like,
those. Yeah.
They're more like decorative.
Those are awesome.
They look. Oh, my grandma had them all the time.
I feel like you could only get those at museums. Like that's where you saw those.
I don't know. Either way, my grandma always had a stock of them, and there was always a bowl full whenever we had a family get together, and there was not much of a bowl at the end of the day.
See, my grandma would go like the exact opposite route. She would have Red Hots, a bowl of Red Hots everywhere, and nothing like kind of hurts more than being like unknowing as a child, like going to grandma's house and seeing a bowl of candy, and everyone. Because all the adults just know what's going to happen. But everyone goes, yeah, of course you can have as much of that candy as you want. And you're ecstatic, and you go grab a massive handful, put like 6 or 7 in your mouth on like the first go around, and you start chewing, and it's just pure torture. And you're fighting demons that you didn't even know existed. And like that's the welcome that you got. And horrible.
I recently did watch a child eat a wasabi pea.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually love wasabi peas. Like I find them very enjoyable. I think it's because my dad really likes them, so he always used to buy like just the boxes of wasabi peas.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was a 2-year-old boy. He got into the pantry, saw something that looked interesting, and probably colors on it, and
that's pretty cool.
He wanted them.
Good for him.
And then brought them over, and then like was upset because he's 2 years old when he was told he couldn't have them. So then his dad was like, "All right, you want to have one? Fine." And then let him have one, and I think he was on the verge of tears. I think we gave him something else, but then he also grabbed another. I think he grabbed like a spicy pickle, and he was having a tough go at it. So we gave him a cotton candy grape.
I had my friend in college, Nick, who like just can't do spicy. He cannot do spicy food, and he had never had wasabi peas either. So I was eating them during COVID when I just had nothing else. That was like what I was munching on. And we're sitting at the dinner table, and he's like, "Oh, can I try a couple?" And I like completely forget every time that Nick has like Nick's food tastes and preferences. I'm really horrible about it. Like there was like he's allergic to nuts, like tree nuts. And I completely forgot about it. And there was a time we were out at Chili's, and he let me order the dessert with a couple of our friends. And I was reading through the options, and I picked the Reese's like peanut butter or skillet.
That sounds so good.
And I literally ordered it, and he thought I was joking and waited for me to correct my order. And the girl walked away, and he literally looked at me and waited 30 seconds. And then as soon as it got delivered, he was like, "You seriously got the one thing on the menu that I can't eat for dessert?"
So he's allergic or something?
Yeah, he's allergic to nuts.
I don't believe in that.
So he couldn't eat it, but the horrible part was he worked at a different Chili's. So we were there to use his Chili's discount. He was buying, and I ordered the one thing he couldn't eat. So he had to sit there and watch the rest of us eat the dessert, and then proceed to put his card into the little kiosk machine and pay for the bill.
That's on him. That is 1,000% on him. He watched you, heard you order.
Bad. I felt so bad immediately afterwards.
What, do you think you were gonna get up and go stop the waitress and be like,
absolutely.
"I was just kidding"?
Well, no, I definitely wouldn't have. But I wish he had corrected me because I would have picked something else. But as soon as it was ordered, I was locked in, and I enjoyed every bite of that skillet.
Yeah, burning a friend, it kind of has
But it wasn't even intentional. I just was
that's the best
I
part.
was so space cadetted on what him being allergic. I completely glossed over my head.
Well,
completely.
I think that is the best part though, is that you didn't do it to him intentionally, but it's a misfortune.
It was perfect. It makes me think of Kelso from That 70s Show, and it was just coming out of nowhere, just going sick burn.
Oh god, I love that show.
Oh yeah, but to full circle on my thought for it is so he had the wasabi, he tried them, and he put 3 in his mouth, and he started eating them, and he just kind of goes, he's shaking his head, and he's getting teary-eyed, he's once he's trying to spit it out, but we just kept looking at him, and we were just going, spitters are quitters, spitters are quitters, spitters are quitters. He was like, I can't do it. But eventually, he got it. He got the 3 down. He had a full a little napkin of another maybe 10 or 15 in front of him, and he was like, I'm not touching another one. Take them back. Get them away from me.
I kind of want to buy these. I have a friend. His name's Phil, and he always hated spicy stuff, and then I would just obviously make fun of him for it, just call him soft, because what else would I do? And then recently I was getting dinner with him, and he tried some spicy foods, and I was like, what is this? I was like, that's spicy, why are you trying to eat it? And he's like, oh, my palate's changed. And I was like, that was way too adult of you to say it that way, but I was like, I was a little upset because it was something I could always kind of make fun of him over. Yeah.
If Nick ever gains the ability to eat spicy food, I might actually have to respect him.
Those two are not correlated.
That's the line in the sand. I think
can't handle spicy stuff. Can't respect it.
Can't respect you.
Sorry.
No, not just people in general. Not people in general, but just him specifically. I think that's the line I'm gonna draw. He could go win the Nobel Prize, quit his job and go build homes in Haiti, and save the world, and I would show up with wasabi peas, and I'd be like, sup, little girl.
He's giving an acceptance speech. You pull a Kanye on him, jump on stage. This guy can't eat spicy food. Crowd goes nuts.
Get him off the stage.
Presenter rips the prize out of his hand. He's like, no, not for you.
So yeah, that's definitely the line I'm gonna draw. I'm sticking hard to that. That's definitely gonna be, because I'm hoping he listens to this and just starts sending me videos of him trying spicy food. That'd be the highlight of my day.
I want him to eat. I was gonna say jalapeno, but I want something better.
Nah, I think anybody can do jalapenos pretty easily.
No, if you get a good one with a lot of seeds.
With the seeds in it, yeah, but
I was like, I don't really care if there's no seeds. That's just a pepper.
Yeah.
At that point,
There's no spice to it.
Yeah, but when you get a good one with like a good bite of seeds,
It definitely burns. Like when you have a couple. The other thing that like sneaky burns are when you get like not. So it used to be when we were all little, like right, Flamin' Hot Cheetos was big. It was like how many could you eat without like bailing out? How fast? Like because just the burnt build up. But it's definitely been replaced. I don't know what they're called. They're like called like Taki or like
Takis.
Yeah, those things. Those things are like Flamin' Hot Cheetos on crack. Like those will get you like after a couple.
I don't know what it is with Takis. I recently like a couple of years ago, someone in the office brought them in. It was Tim. Of course it was.
Tim.
And I was like, I've never seen these. I've never had them. And now I can't stop noticing them. I see them every time I go in the grocery store. My eye immediately catches them. Weirdly enough, I never buy them.
Yeah, Julia and I have had the same bag in our cabinet for like a couple months now because they eat like weirdly when they go stale, they don't taste like other chips when other chips are stale. Like they don't become that kind of weird cardboard texture. They still stay a little like crispy. They're just like it's almost like it requires a little bit more effort to just crunch it. Like almost like not fully like you're eating a Jordan almond, but sort of.
I still gotta go with no. I feel like you should just eat them or throw them out at some point.
Oh yeah, so that's like I've picked up on it, and I think comfortable with this habit. I don't have any desire to change it.
I didn't think I was gonna change it by just me saying I think you should.
No, like I fully am aware and acknowledge that I hoard like food. Like I have bags of chips from the 4th of July still from last year. Here. I have Girl Scout cookies that I haven't opened in maybe like over a year.
Okay, well,
like they've just come along for the ride with me because I'm never. Oddly enough, like I look in my cabinet when I look for sweet snacks, and there's so many other things because I hoard all types of food and candy that I would grab something else before I go open a box of Girl Scout cookies. Mostly because they're unopened, because I don't want to break the seal and then have to be on the clock to eat them.
Well, I think once you open them, worst case scenario, you bring them to the office. I eat about half of the bag, or a sleeve at that point, because I was like, recently got the text from Gretch. It's like, hey, someone's selling Girl Scout cookies at work, and I was like, these are my 2 favorite.
Nice.
I was like, well, oh yeah,
Wait,
are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Hold on, no, I want to know. I want to see if I can figure it out.
Yeah,
I think that obviously. So in no particular order, I'd like to not have to try to guess the 1 and the 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
I obviously. Because I think I've yet to run into somebody who actually genuinely dislikes them, but Thin Mints have got to be one of the 2.
It's actually not.
What?
I don't
really.
I don't dislike them. They're always good. I'm never gonna say no to a Thin Mints. If there's a box of them, yeah, I'll eat some.
All right. Well, so then Samoa's.
Actually, no, I don't like coconut.
What?
Yeah, the only coconut I like. Yeah, tagalongs.
All right, because those are the big 3.
Those are the big 3.
And the fact that you nixed 2 of them kind of gives me psychopath vibes.
Well, no, Thin Mints are good. I'm not complaining about that.
Yeah, but not. That's like weird to not have those 3 as your top 3 is a little strange. I think. I don't even know a 4th Thin Mint flavor to ask, except for the like
Girl Scout cookie.
A 4th Girl Scout cookie flavor to ask, like to guess. I
was like, wait, are they
there's
like different types of?
There's
Thin
like
Mints?
the vanilla like sugar cookie one.
Yeah, the trefoils.
Yeah, don't tell me that's on.
Yeah, that actually.
Are you serious?
That's my
That's even worse. That's even worse than picking like one of the discontinued flavors, because at least I could say like nostalgia wise, you're holding on to something that used to be great.
So your explanation of the ice cream sandwiches?
Yeah.
That I kind of do something similar with the tagalongs.
With tagalongs?
Yeah. I eat off the chocolate, so I bite off the edges
of
like a little bowl of peanut butter, scrape off the bottom, and then I'll just bite down into it.
Those things
or take out the whole thing.
I used to devour tagalongs.
They're so good
as a kid, and then for some reason I was obsessed with. I don't know what it was. coconut and anything else I would hate, but coconut and Samoas for some reason just like disappeared to me,
Interesting.
and I just devoured those two.
Weirdly enough, the one thing of coconut I like. This is actually not going to be weird or a surprise to you, but it's Malibu.
Oh yeah,
That for some reason is always good. Mostly, I have good memories with it. There was one day that me and my buddies were at some apartment party, and there was just a bottle of Malibu. We all poured some in our cup. The bottle was like empty at that point. We walked away. About 15, 20 minutes later, some guy started screaming about where his Malibu went. So we all kind of looked at each other and were like, I think it's time to leave.
yeah.
So we left.
There was a time I was at a house party, and me and a handful of my friends were just out, and we knew the people who owned the house, but we weren't like friends with any of them. Like we were a group of friends that just went to this house, so we had no allegiance to anybody.
Yeah, that's college. Yeah.
And we were in the kitchen, and that's where their bar was, and it was all of us. Like we had somehow taken over the entire kitchen. Everybody else was in the rest of the party, and for some reason, we just like got a knack to like take something. So one of the guys who had a backpack on, we just he had it on his body. We didn't even take it off. We just unzipped the back of it, and one person opened the fridge, found a Four Loko that was uncracked, took that, tossed it in the backpack, and then me and my other friend, off the bar, took the bottle of vodka. I think it was Absolute.
Nice.
Took a couple sips of it, then closed it, put it in the backpack, and then proceeded, like, and in the nick of time, finished zipping the backpack right when people started coming back in. Maybe hung out for like another 5 minutes, and then went, we gotta go. We gotta leave. And the person who had the backpack on was so drunk, he didn't realize what was going on. He woke up the next morning, and he was like, why is there Four Loko and a bottle of vodka in my backpack? Where'd these come from?
I was always the backpack guy. I liked it though.
Being the backpack guy?
Yeah.
I would only do it for darties. Any other time, I didn't like being the backpack guy.
I liked it for like apartment parties because I was like, I know where my stuff is.
Yeah.
And I don't have to go find someone that has all of the beers that I brought with me through that guy's backpack. But it was, there are plenty of crazy stories of people taking stuff. I was like, people always tried to steal stuff from like frat houses. I know plenty of people that have done that.
Oh yeah, especially for you. You definitely probably have had to deal with people trying to steal stuff from your frat house.
So like we have our composite photo, which is just the like the photo of all the guys.
Everyone.
Yeah. And
I try to take that 100%.
Yeah, people would take them because there's like all old ones sticking around. People tend to not like when a group of like offensive linemen charge after them down the street.
Yeah, I would tend to be a little bit afraid when that happened to me too.
Yeah, it was nice having them there though. I was like, if we ever needed to like get our like, if we were having a party and people were waiting to get in and they were just kind of hanging out on the lawn, if we like knew that we needed to clear it out because like cops might be alerted and like or might be coming and be like, you need to clear everyone off your lawn, then like we just like had a group chat where like we'd see it, you'd get a text that just said like moving team, like come on out, and like all the offensive and defensive linemen that we had, which we had like 10-ish guys probably, just walk outside and they're all like,
that is the number of people that make up an offensive and defensive line.
Actually, yeah. But like they all like were like 6'4", 240 like minimum, like, and yeah, I wouldn't want to get in their way.
That's pretty nice. You know, so that's like the exact opposite of what I would deal with, because like we had, so right, James and a handful of our other friends, right, were all rugby players, so we were friends with the rugby team and we lived with a lot of those guys, so they were always over, so it was nice to have them. That was effectively our support. Yeah. But those fucking psychopaths with just like like some of the stuff they would do just kind of like made me afraid just for my safety. Like, not that I thought any of them were ever gonna fight me, because they always had our backs and like we were always had their backs and friends, but the stuff they would do to each other,
oh, you can't stop
them. Because you can't get in the way, because all of them condone it, because they like, but they don't, but it's like scary. Like I came up one time and there was two of them that were like not full-fledged fist fighting, but full-fledged like no close fist swinging fighting. Like they were wrestling and like slap fighting, just because they wanted to see who was tougher. But there was one point where one of them slammed the other like into the oven, and I watched the oven like lift up and start rocking, and nobody said anything and did anything to stop them, and then they slammed into the fridge and just kept going around the kitchen, and I was like, I was shitting bricks that I was gonna die.
I watched plenty of friendly fights, and it was a combination of like
a good friendly fight.
It was a combination of like full-fledged hits, and you go until tap out, and then you do like they would do like best of 3.
Yeah.
And one day we had a 3-on-3 brawl.
Never experienced that.
That ended with a 3-on-1. Because
that's unfortunate.
Like the 3 guys on one team, 2 of them beat their guy, and then it was just one guy left, and it was like, this isn't like a. But other than that, if we were doing like if I ever saw a fight like inside, and there was a decent sized group of people around, everyone kind of stood in front of like the tables and walls and kind of like guided them away.
Yeah.
There was always someone like very, very sober, like 100% sober, like there to like kind of guard them and like make sure that like both these guys were actually okay in case someone wasn't tapping out on time, like being like, this guy's about to pass out, I'm gonna tap out for him and pull him away.
I find it very amazing that I think it's really true, but I think like almost every dude's like the same. Like we didn't go to, we did not go to college together. We did not, but yet we have like clearly all dudes that are friends fight the same. Like we all have like the wrestle matches and like and slap fights and mess around fights where like immediately after we're like, that was fun. Let's go get some dominoes, come back and do it again. Like it just seems like that's just part of dude DNA.
I was like, at the end of the day, like no one was mad. They both like signed up for it. They were both like, let's do this, but we're doing it in a safe, moderated way.
Yep.
There was one fight that almost commenced that I watched happen. It was, ironically enough, during the McGregor-Mayweather fight.
That was so disappointing, but like rewarding to watch. I loved that fight, but I also hated that fight.
So like we had a projector screen, so we like bought it, put it on the projector screen. I had like everyone like brought a friend, pretty much, and like we were watching it. In between rounds, 2 guys started talking to each other, not like quietly. The projector was literally shining on them, and I was like, "This is interesting." Turns out one of the guys was hitting on the other guy's sister. They were best friends. So then they just started like yelling at each other, getting each other's faces, and then one of them swung on the other, quickly got broken up, and then we had to have a whole conversation about how we can't do that. And I was like, yeah,
but if there's but if there's anywhere that like you kind of want a fight to break out, when you're in the mood to watch fights, because you paid to watch a fight. And you know when that fight was coming up, because exactly how I felt. So I know it's exactly how you felt too. Is like you were animated the entire day, and you were probably doing some shadow boxing every once in a while, going like, I can't wait to watch Mayweather McGregor just go nuts, and you just like you were amped for it. So it's almost like I think these 2 guys just did you all a favor, and they said, you know, you're all paying money to sit here and watch an event, and there should be no breaks. There should be no breaks. Like no, so when we're at the stoppage, we're gonna give you entertainment. We're gonna give you what you paid for, and that's fights.
Yeah, I remember I stood up to try to break it up, but then it was those offensive linemen were there. So
thanks, offensive linemen.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna let them handle this. This isn't. I was like, the guys weren't like bigger than I was, but I was like, I don't.
You listen. You got credit. All right, you stood up.
Yeah, I stood up.
You got credit.
I stood up and was like, "Do I need to get involved?"
You were prepared to get involved. You assessed the situation. You made a decision that it was covered, and you sat back down
and had another sip of the
beer. You got a participation medal for stopping it.
It's more one of those like, "Whew, that's crazy." Sips beer.
Can't believe I almost got involved in that one.
Like, really happy I'm over here.
If if I knew the two people who were breaking it up, and I didn't care about the two people who started the fight, I'd be like, I would shout to them, and be like, yeah, Timmy, you get him, you stop him.
It was just
you
kind
break
of,
that fight up.
It was kind of one of those things where it was like, there are people here that like, we don't want to be like, oh yeah, we like dislike each other. So it was kind of like, we're like, oh, maybe don't fight each other in front of like guests.
Maybe like we should, I think to continue the theory, and mostly to maybe see if we can convince, because we know Nate doesn't watch the pod, right? He's refused to support us, and it kind of hurts feelings a little bit, but teach their own. But maybe we should issue a challenge that if Nate can watch an episode, this episode really, and come back to us with a secret word, that we won't start a fight the next time we're over at his house to watch Survivor.
All right, I got the phrase.
What do we got?
Pineapple skunk.
Pineapple skunk is the phrase, Nate. If you can come tell us pineapple skunk, we're not going to start a fight the next time we're at your house for Survivor.
I was like, there's no way that could ever come up in conversation.
No, Sean.
Not even a little bit.
There's no way that he could think of it, and we can. I like it. I'm in, done, locked in. Yeah, no, it's been real awesome chatting. This has been like two nuts on a couch having a vibe.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Stay nutty.
And yeah, remember, there's always two nuts if you need them.